Okay, we're 2 minutes out. Two minutes, everyone. 2 minutes. Thank you, too. Yep, looks good. Testing is good. I'm going to be live in about a minute here. Come on. Or is this complicated? It says I'm live. I don't want to watch a replay. I want to watch the live thing. Hi. If you've tuned in early, you're hearing me try to figure crap out. That's the live thing. I click on it. Oh my god, it worked. What's this? I don't like it. Okay, did that. Oh, it won't show up there. Hoo-ha. Chat's ready for this to display messages. Oh, that's not a message, that's a comment. And that's a... kids. Absolutely are better kinds of technology. Floating in the sewer. Hello. Hi. I'm not necessarily expecting anybody to show. I gave a little bit of a good warning, but I haven't been very interesting yet, and I'm green at this stuff, and I'm not the world's most charismatic human in person or on the web. But I'm working on not being a perfectionist anymore. I want to be a recovering perfectionist. I think the tech is working. I'm not really in the mood to work. Oh, that was. Oh. Sorry, I'm trying to reach for the work in progress here. The keycaps globe. It's the biggest chunk. It's hard to coordinate this. Oh yes, one of my pentagonal dodecahedrons. Ask me about pentagonal dodecahedrons sometime. Don't do it. I'll talk way too long. Yeah. I'd like to try to do something different. There's the back of that. Okay, this is still playing an old video. I'm going to try to get my live stream going. Watch now. Okay. There's going to be a long delay, I know. Why am I not seeing it up here either? Lord, people. I wish I could understand things. But I don't. Gotta put on my glasses to find the key, to refresh the page. And why is it not showing me? Oh, kids. It's amazing. I am technically live streaming now, but I can't watch me. And as soon as I said that, I got it working with Twitch on an old computer and on my phone. As far as seeing it on YouTube, not so much. Maybe this will work. I have a feeling people aren't going to necessarily know how to get to my live stream. Oh! Hey, that was a shorter delay than I was expecting. I've muted it now. Hey! Cool! Alright, I can see both platforms that I stream live on in several different places. Well, how long have I faffed about with words? I see a second person, but it's probably me. My name's Keith Hale, and I was an artist for a time. I have kind of an artist's sensibilities. I want to be an artist. I am working on defeating perfectionism. I'm embarrassed that I didn't know I was a perfectionist for most of my life. But I'm working on it. Let's see if Nightbot will play nice. Oh, it's not going to look there. Okay, I have typed something into chat. I don't see it on the screen yet. That was YouTube. Ruba tuba. Billy Pooba. So I was going to read some of my poetry, which I found in my apartment recently, some old poems. And then I set them somewhere. They'll turn up. That is not them. Forget I got excited. Hey, Nightbot did the thing. But can I do it? Talk amongst yourselves. Not that there is anyone. I don't think. Oh, I can't remember my stuff. Alrighty, does that show up on? Yep. Alright, cool. My screen chat name in what do you call Twitch is thoughtstorms, and dash Keith Hale dash on the other one. And for some reason my command doesn't work when I put it in Twitch. Well, so what is this stream about? I have really faffed about. It's 2:07. I started a little before 2. I'm trying to become an artist again. Small A artist, and please don't stick an E on the end of that. Ugh. Not a more pretentious sounding word in the language, in any language. Okay, there's probably some. My point being, I want to make again. I want to be a maker. I watch makers on YouTube so many hours. I think if I didn't sleep so much of the day, that YouTube would be saying, dude, you got to pay double your premium YouTube. And yes, that's one thing I subscribe to. I cannot cope with the commercials. He said on the platform that runs the commercials. I don't think you'll be seeing any on mine. If you do, let me know. I don't really want you to. I might see a third person. Okay, restream bots. Twitch, thoughtstorms. Exclamation 1K. Gotta figure that out. It's not a big deal. It's something I wanted to play with. I've got a lot of pre-recorded little messages I can trigger, but I got to do it from YouTube. That's YouTube right there. All right. Anyway, so what I have been doing is working on things with this two-part epoxy clay. This is by a company called Small Tongue. Jeez. Insult me, why don't you? No, I'm sure there's a cool reason they're called Small Tongue. And when I have leftover stuff, I put it on this inexpensive plastic mask, which is already about 3 times as heavy as it was before I started doing this. And yes, I know there's some jokes to be made, and that's okay. This is an 18 or plus channel. I really don't mind if you are less than 18 years old. That's incredibly arbitrary. But big people words may happen in chat or right here on the thing. And if you will pardon me, I take medicines and they have side effects, and some over-the-counter stuff, very helpful. Don't watch. Whew. It puts the fire out. As far as I can tell, there's not anybody chatting. There might be somebody lurking somewhere on the internet. Tell you what, I'm not showing art at the moment. Let's try this main talk channel. So these, how do I gesticulate to them? These artworks that go by, I got to them the slow hard way. I made them transparent PNGs and put them in a slideshow. And that was pretty ass backwards for a lot of reasons. I can just key out like the black. So some of these are actually done in such a way that they key out the black. So you're seeing a lot of the same ones, and I haven't changed these. I was hoping to change these before I went live today. Man, is it possible to take a USB plug that goes into your phone, plug it into a computer, and actually transfer files? I used to could do it. In fact, I still can do it on my one older computer and one older than that. But not this one. So, I feel like putting these together is a little bit tedious, and it's hard to do. Oh, I don't have the, there we go. Doing this on camera, first of all, it's hard to make it happen on camera. I've got to kind of sit, I don't know. I haven't placed the camera well yet. Anyway, I kind of think it's tedious to watch this, even if I am zoomed a little closer, at least. not zoom. This thing doesn't have a zoom. This is actually quite an old webcam, and I have other and better webcams, but I've just got to get them to work with my stuff. Oh, I didn't realize. If I fix this live on air. Haha. Anyway, I'm not really doing art, so I might as well go back to the larger camera. An astute person might notice that on the screen now, the screen is rectangular. That's about the only thing on the screen that is rectangular. I'm sorry, they are so cliche. No. For me, just for my taste. I'll challenge you something. Wherever you're sitting right now, close your eyes and then open them and take 5 seconds and see if you can find 10 rectangles. Stop when you get to 150. So yes, I haven't put a frame around the entire thing. I've thought about it, but I don't know. It's enough that my camera is pentagonal. Okay, you twisted it out of me. This is only going to be on a VOD anyway. Yeah, this is fun. It's yoga poses. Got this at a thrift store quite a long time ago. If I see something like this that's affordable at all, I'm buying it. It's a pentagonal dodecahedron. Earlier today, I saw the first part of the first episode of Carl Sagan's Cosmos. I've seen some of the Neil deGrasse, but the original from 1980 was a huge influence on me. I have autistic fascinations, and there's not a bigger one than this. And especially, the Pentagon, as you can see by the shape of my camera view. And you might also notice that if they're not pentagons, they're triangles or septangles or nonangles. Nonagons. Yep, I don't think anybody's chatting. If you do jump in and chat, please be patient. If I don't notice it, don't see it. I am a newbie and not expecting large numbers of guests and visitors just yet. So, it wasn't on that episode, but on an episode of Cosmos, I call it Carl Sagan's Cosmos now that there's a Neil deGrasse Tyson's Cosmos, which I thought was pretty good. As much of it as I watched, I liked a lot. Anyway, he talked about ancient philosophers and how they would talk about earth, wind, fire, water. Come see victory in a land gone fancy. And the ether. And the platonic solids would represent those things. I believe, if my memory serves, and it rarely does, can I do this? There's a tetrahedron that I made out of this clay. While my clay was getting way too stiff. Oh boy, I bet that was loud. I hope that wasn't loud. I've tried to isolate my microphone so that noises I make won't be horrible. Tetrahedrons, I believe, represented fire. And just a flat isosceles triangle was fire. that's kind of a cube, was Earth. I think a square was as well. Then you have the 8-sided octahedron. Boy, I'm relying on my memory and I shouldn't do it. Anyway, the part that meant the most to me was ether could be represented by the pentagonal dodecahedron. These are the platonic solids. They have the same angles, and there's no other shapes mixed in, like a soccer ball is cheating. Soccer ball, you shave off all the points of a pentagonal dodecahedron. You've got a classical soccer ball. I really should throw this around with the mic and people's ears who might listen at some point. So it was to represent the ether, or the heavens, or the gosh gollies. But there was an ancient, it was taboo at least. I don't know if you could be put to death for sculpting a pentagonal dodecahedron, or drawing it, or wearing a toga with it printed on the front. I don't know how bad the taboo was. Maybe it was just kind of disrespectful. They felt they didn't want people treading on celestial firmament. So that was fascinating, and I was already infatuated with the platonic solids, because not long before that, in the very, very late 70s, I had started messing a little bit with D&D and the dice thereof. My favorite part of D&D was the dice, until we later got going with superhero games, and I kind of enjoyed those a lot. So I was already infatuated and fascinated by the shape, but hearing that, ooh, it's kind of naughty to make it, and I'd been drawing it anywhere I could, and I don't know if I was making it out of clay at the time. I certainly have a lot. I've made glass ones. I've torch-worked glass into spheres and then ground them into very rough pentagonal dodecahedrons. There's another dodecahedron that's only semi-regular, and I don't remember what you call that. There's the platonic solids, and once again, going by memory, Euclidean solids. Anyway, basically the shape of it is a diamond shape, like a diamond, the ace of diamonds. It's pretty close, and 12 of those you can put together if the angles are right, and make an almost regular polyhedron, but not quite. The angles aren't all the same. Two are the same, and two are the same, but all right. I'm wanting to lean on the counter since I'm not tilt the camera back a little bit. Behind me is not my art, but it was set dressing on a TV episode that I acted in. It was actually on, I was going to say national TV. I mean, it wasn't network, but it was, I guess, cable. I was in 2 episodes of television. And so that says Holy City Zoo. And after we shot all our stuff, they were taking it down, and it looked to me like it was about to go into a dumpster. And I said, If that's being thrown away, can I take it home instead? No, I'll ask somebody and be right back. So, I took it home and I've had it since, and I like it a lot. It's fourfold symmetry, which is not my favorite, although if you've got to have a rectangle, my favorite is going to be a square. One of the platonic solids, after all, is the cube. And I like the Earth. I'm not a Rubik's Cube guy, although, man, people are making these custom Rubik's Cubes, including one shaped like this, or shaped like this with slightly domed. Ooh. I don't want to try to solve them. That's not one of my strengths. But, boy, I like the look of them. The way the lines go around, oh, man. I watch a lot of videos of people that make those. Speaking of videos, I think one thing I was going to do today. Oh dear. No, shoot. Well, I don't think that's going to dox me. Boy, this is not the best, I betcha. There it is. This is a game, a puzzle game, that was introduced to me by a dear, dear friend who's no longer with us. We'll never forget you, Wayne. And he introduced me to this and another one of these many, many games that are available on this website. I go to slither-link.com, I think. Anyway, that may be kind of disorienting to see that going by like that. This is a very easy one, 7x7, but I'll go ahead and do a new puzzle and just show you what you do. Okay, the 8 can only go in 4 directions. Left click, drag, gives you one line. Or you can left click and get a second line. Or with the 6, for example, you can right click and drag and you get 2 lines. And you know that's got to be 1. And you know that's got to be 1. So that's got to be 1. So that's got to be. And I got that in 29 seconds, which is no kind of record. But this is a real easy one. Let me show you the monthly. Yeah, I've already messed up on this one, like for the 9th time. But it's a fun game. Look at this 4 I'm circling right now. You can only go up from there and down, and I'm sorry, left from there. Like this or like this. And the total of these lines shall be 4. 3 shall there not be, and definitely 5 is right out. So you can click right there too. So you know that at least that's the case. Unless some of these are incorrect, which they are. This 6 shouldn't have a solid 1 on it, and it can't go up. So yeah, I messed that one up. I'll go back to it before the month is over. The weekly, I'll go to the daily. Haven't looked at it yet. So I will work this kind of fast. Anybody has any questions? I actually like talking about this. The strategy and everything is kind of cool. You got a 4 next to a 1. You know at least one is going to this side and one is going down. This might not happen because it might be this, or it might be this, or it might be that. But one thing you know is these two are happening. And these lines can help define what happens elsewhere. This 1 can't go anywhere to the left. Can't go up. it could go to the right, but you have to make chains. They all have to be interconnected. You can't have an island, and that one-to-one is an island. So that means that one has to go down. And this one can't go there. We already said why. It can't go there. Same reason. Can't go up. There's no number up there for it to go to. I don't know if this is interesting to anybody but me, but I dig it. It scratches an itch. I swear to God. Now, 3s are corners, just like that 4 with a 1 by it. 3s in a straight line happen, and this one's going to a 1, so I know that much. And 5s have 2 2s and a 1. And I've already found one of the 2s and one of the 1s, so I can make that a 2. If this is dull, put it in the comments. I will understand. I will not be mad at all. I know a lot of YouTubers are really maybe even trying to trick people into posting comments because it helps the almighty algorithm. So the 4 in a straight line can't go left or right, so it's 2 up and 2 down. The 2 can only go down, so it's 2 down. I like to go to the corners. That's a corner. 5s do at least this much. There's a 1 on that one, so I can do this. There's a 3, it's a corner. There's a 5, it's a T-bone. And this 3 is a corner because it can't go left and it can't go down. So it can go up and it can go right. This 1 can't go down or right or up without making an island. So it's got to go that way. That means this 1 can't go up. Couldn't have anyway, so it's going left. Probably belaboring the point. There's a 4 that's kind of a corner. So 8s are wonderful. You know with an 8 that it's going to be 2 up, 2 down, 2 left, 2 right. 7s are great. They're the same except one of them is a 1, and that makes for some fun cogitating. I just found a 1 for that 7, so I know these are happening. And you want to do this against the timer. I mean, once you get good at this, you do it against the timer. That's the thing is, that's the thing is, and I think language and grammar not. This 2 can't go down; it'll make an island. You don't have to work against the timer. Now these 2 1s make this 5 into a 3, and a 3 is a corner effectively. So I know there's this much. One of these is getting 1 more. I don't yet know which one. Haven't really tried to figure that out yet. Straight line 3, it has at least 1 up and 1 down. Straight line 3, 1 up, 2 down, because 1's as much as it can have. 1 on the 5, boof. And I do tend to say boof. I talk to myself, never more so than when I'm working puzzles. It helps me remember what I'm doing, for one thing. I've noticed that. That would be an island, so I'm going left. Now, you can't see the circle that's down from this 2, so you can just stick a line on there, and it's a 2. A 2 can go to a 2, but it can't go that way. That makes an island. But it doesn't necessarily go there, so I was just showing you that you can find this out. Now, a 6 with a gray single line. Oh, I think I see it. Crystal! I need my brain to work this. I read that without my glasses. Hi, Beej. You mind if I out you as being related to me? I already outed Peter on another stream. Crystal's my sister, and she's wonderful. Fancy her like mad. You know, that's not really the right way to say that, but what the hell. There's a 4 that's a 3. There's a 1 that's evident. Wait, I got to work like... I need my brain to work like this. Wait, I got here late. What is the object? Same last name. Yep. Oh, that's true. I've been looking without my glasses. The object is, Crystal, is to match up the number with a bridge of that number. This 1 only has one line coming off it. It's either there or there. It can't be there because you can't have an island. Everything's got to be hooked up. So I know already that's got to go there. And since that one can't go up, it's got to go down. And this 1 can't go anywhere but down. And once you fill them all up, I'm doing the daily, and it's, you know, that's a pretty advanced one. Here, I'll tell you what. I'm going to throw on a 10 by 10 easy. Okay, the 3 is a corner. The 1 is taken, so that's a 2. It can only go to the right. It can only go right. This is a 4 in a corner. It's got to be 2 left and 2 up. 2 left, 2 up. 2 up, or 2 down, 1 left. This 2 can only go once to the 1, but it's a 4 in a corner. And that's a 5 with a 1. So 2 up there. I'm doing it fast. I'll go back. Dump, dump, dump. 39 seconds. Not a record, but if it had been, you do submit your score to the Hall of Fame and put in your email address. I just doxed my email address. Judge Keith at gmail.com. Yeah, my personal best on that one is 19 seconds. You hate me. Well, in that case, I'm going to type something into chat so that somebody can notice that I have magic. It's probably the wrong platform. No, I think that's the right one. If you're on... Yep, you must be on YouTube. Otherwise, I would see something else. But anyway. So you probably can't see the end of that line because of the heart symbol that I don't know what that's for. It bugs the crap out of me, and I'm not the only live streamer that really hates that thing. I'm trying to read the chat, and you can't do it. So, that's a game that I spend a lot of time on. I'm going to show you another one. This one is at puzzle-loop.com. And here is a very simplified version. This has to be a complete loop. I'll move it away from the chat. This has to be a complete loop, and this 3 has to have 3 lines next to it. I know that it can't be this one because this 0 has to have 0 next to it. In fact, I've got it set to where it goes ahead and puts an X on there. So you left click and you make a line. That 3's got to have 3. And down. You can't go here because you can't go there. It's going to have to turn that way, so I'm going to go ahead and put an X there and X there. On an easy one like this, I don't take the time, but if you ever try this, put your X's until you are seriously advanced. This one has to have one, and it can't be that. It can't be that. It can't be that. It's got to be that. Which has to be that. It's got to be that. It can't be this. So, can't. Oops. It can't be this. It also can't be this. Can't join up. And like I said, it's all going to make one big snake. Now, a cool thing I learned in somewhat recent years, when you have a 2 next to a corner like this, you know that corner is going to end up being lines. And here's a 3 that we know, and there's a 2 that we know, and I can't put a line there because that ends in a dead end. So I go ahead and put an X there. This has got to come down. That's got to not happen. Boom, bop. Can't do that. It would leave out the 2. Can't do that. We're in a dead end, so I got to go this way. Boom. And like I say, if you try these, this is puzzle-loop.com for this game. The other game I showed you is Slither Link. You can read that. Yeah. So, no, I'm sorry. Slither Link is the name of this game, but Puzzle Loop is the URL. Puzzle-loop. Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with chat, so I'm distracted. And, yeah. I used to play Minesweeper a lot, and I still like Minesweeper when it's not a square grid, but I haven't been able to find the pentagonal Cairo tiling version of that, or the triangle version of it. I haven't looked in a long time. I spent a lot of time playing those games. These I like better. And on Android, they have Cairo tiling and triangle tiling and kite tiling, all kinds of cool combinations of stuff. So new puzzle, I'm going to do it as fast as I can. You ready? And 3, 2. That's. Hey, it occurred to me that most streamers stream games. I don't play many games. I do play this a lot. 26. I don't remember what my record was. I think it was like 19 or something like that. Anyway. Great. My sister said she hates me and she quit talking to me. That's fine to quit talking, by the way. That's called lurking. Some of my friends and family are not experienced with streaming, going to streams, or participating. But yeah, sometimes people will say lurking for food, or I'm at work so I've got the sound down but I'm watching or whatever, and they call that lurking. So chatting is great. Let's see. Wow, I just said wow. Must be a lag. Oh, there's a definite lag. There's a very big lag, and I don't have a monitor big enough that I can read the chat very well. So I've got my phone here, and I can put my glasses on if I need to, but it doesn't work with the computer. My eyesight used to be really bad. I got my cataracts out. I'm so much better, and I don't need it for the computer. I need it for my phone. And so there's a lot of the the lag can be really confusing. Hey, if you it's probably really hard to tell with my mouth, and as well camouflaged as it is. But if it looks like my speech is not matching up with my mouth, let me know. I don't know how to fix it. But people do tend to let the streamers know that, and I'll know that that's a thing to look into. But yeah, these are just two. And by the way, there's a bunch of these other ones. I've never even tried them. This one apparently you got to be on their Patreon. I am on guaranteed negative income, so I can't afford the Patreon that. But I've never tried it before either. Sudoku. I always say that wrong. I've tried that. It was okay. Shikaku. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it. There's nonograms. I know Krista plays that. I said I hate you because you solved that so fast. You know I don't mean it. I know. I know it. You're the best. I got the best family a person could wish for. Within reason. For a while there, I was hoping that Ken Branagh and Emma Thompson would adopt me. I started to say I think I'm older than them, but I'm wrong. They are older than me. But they're geniuses, and they were great, and that was a couple that breaking up kind of hurt my feels. Okay, these, you haven't seen the artwork I've been working on, unless you've looked at a video on demand. Here's some in progress. When you helped me clean up, you may have run into these keycaps. And I am putting them together with this two-part epoxy putty. No, I didn't find the one that's the two different sets that are lost in my apartment. So this is some cheaper stuff. It sets up faster, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. But this is a proof of concept that I hope will be a cool artwork. I know that glue and paint don't like to stick to plastic. And you know me, I hoard plastic things that I think I can make into sculptures later. They don't like to stick, glue and paint. Unless there's a couple of special kinds of paint that are made to do it, but yeah, for the most part you need to either sand or run a quick butane lighter across. So this is me trying to get something accomplished with doing niter. I don't think I'll mind the quick butane lighter across. In fact, I might even sort of like to char it and bubble it a little bit. That might be kind of a cool effect, but there's going to be, this is going to end up being an entire sphere. The way I'm getting the tops of these keycaps, hopefully this isn't too blinding, I'll put the bubble gum in the back, and I will push it into this copper mixing bowl. And this sphere, when I finish it, is going to be the same size, or very close, to a cheapo busted globe I bought for like $3. So I'm going to put this in the infrastructure, the, whatever you call it, the ring. And that's the idea on that one. I haven't been working on it today. It's about the only thing I've worked on my streams so far. I'll only do the same things. As I start running out of time with the epoxy sculpt, I want to do something with it. Just like if you're pouring resin into molds, and you have some left over, you like to have one that's set aside so that you can dump that in there. And a lot of woodworkers that do these cool, colorful things with wood that's got huge holes in it and all that, they end up with these really kind of neat castings of different colors of epoxy resin. And one guy's kind of cool because he tilts them a little bit as they set up, so it's not just straight lines. Anyway, you put that on a lathe and turn it into a sphere or something, and it's very cool. This is akin to that a little bit because I use up without throwing away. And this stuff is non-toxic. I'm convinced that the way this was invented, somebody said, I've got 2-part epoxy, equal amounts, A and B. And when you mix them together, they start to kick or react or cure. They don't, and they harden. They also heat up. But what most people say is they dry. And that's not the right word. Oh, that's your mask. Yeah, I've still got the mask on the wall. I bought 2 of these. So this is one of those. It's funny because it's an incredibly light mask. It was. But even just when I had about 5 of these, it started getting really heavy. This stuff is incredibly hard. It's a little bit brittle, and you wouldn't want to go much smaller than this. But once I'm done with this, I'll seal it in and probably paint it. And I doubt I will be wearing it because it'll be heavy as hell. I haven't even tried this yet. La la, where's the thing? Names talk. Ooh. And there's an off-color joke to be had. I'm just gonna let that lie. Yep. It's really good to see you, Crystal. I saw you recently, but usually I don't see you in person much, but it hasn't been that long. We had some hospital shenanigans that for once didn't involve any of us siblings. That improves your face a bit. Brian Schmidt! We've got an all-star cast here. I got my sister and my brother from another mother. How's it going, Brian? Yes, it definitely improves my face. I have to agree. Although it rather charmingly leaves my bald head very much alone. Earlier I was talking about these things. I don't know if I finished the subject. I'll always circle back to it. Alright, I need it. Oh, I know what I could do. Maybe. I've got a Fresnel lens here. Yep. Oh. Bye, Beach. Love you too. Good to see from you. Come around anytime. I'm planning to be live again tomorrow at 2 Texas time. And it may not be any more interesting than this. Great to have you drop by. Brian, I was showing them some of the games I play on computer. Since, that's what... Yeah. That's what streamers do, is play games. Bye. Do you know these, Brian? I'm not gonna go all over them again unless you're curious. I'll go ahead and work one. You keeping warm, Brian? Because you know, the wind chill's probably around 117 about now in this Texas-y place we hang out. I turned my head away. I wasn't going for speed. At least that's what I'm gonna claim. My favorite reactor person, when she goes live, she does games like Wordle and Worldle and stuff like that. That might be fun. I've already done them today. I tend to do them right after midnight, but I see Nightbot just chimed in and said something. Let's see what it said. I'm trying. Oh, I'd love to see it go down to the 80s. So, Nightbot, so everybody knows, is kind of me. It's things that I've typed down, and I can trigger them with commands. Hey, Brian, if you don't mind, type in exclamation point, no space, 1K. And that's number 1 and K, and see if it triggers a Nightbot, if you don't mind. Been wanting to test that. This is like Baby Minesweeper. Oh, okay, Baby Minesweeper. I gotta shrink the screen here. Yeah, show me some Minesweeper like that. Alright, looks like you typed it correctly. You, I believe, are here on, what do you call, YouTube. Oh, I lost my monthly I was already working on, but I was already messed up on that one. Yeah, these monthlies are rough. But what I really like is the daily. Daily's a nice amount bad. Start looking for things like a 3 next to a 0 like that, you know those are lines. And to tell you the object here, it's got to be one long ski snaky thing. I'm wrong here, but I'm just showing you what it would sort of look like. And the 3 has to have 3 lines beside it. The 2 has to have 2. The 0 has to have 0. So the 3 next to a 0 does this. 3 next to a 0 like that does that. You can't have lines that meet that touch, so that can't be there. I will right click and put an X, right click and put an X, left click and put a line. I can't go there, so I'll put an X there. That means I have to go up. Now this would be tedious as all kinds of hell to watch me play, because this is a pretty advanced game. One thing I can't do is go here, because that would be a dead end. So I'm putting the X there. So there's a line there or there. I don't know which. But it's fun. It's more logic than math. It's the logic chunk of math, and that's why I say it scratches itches, man. I really miss logic class. I loved logic class. I was tutoring people while I was taking it. You've heard that story many a time. I don't like it. Alrighty, I wonder why. Brian, if you would, please type exclamation point EGG, like egg. exactly like a. I don't think capitals matter. When you have threes together like that, you know that it's these verticals, but you don't know if it's this kind or this kind. But you also know, I didn't at first, but you also know it can't be that or that. So you can go ahead and put X's there. Darn it. Okay. I guess I have those set up to where only I can trigger them. I can't trigger them in Twitch like I oughta should. Do you even have a Twitch account, Brian? I'm not suggesting it, but it's better. In fact, I like YouTube better. I pay for YouTube Premium, so I don't mess with commercials. Okay, here's something. Here's something. A friendly person once told me that I reminded him of Jay Leno. Here's something. When you have... Oh, I've lost it now. I don't remember where it was. Oh, there it is. Okay. When you have a 2 in the corner by a 0, I know it's either this, or it's this. It's got to be one or the other. It can't be this. So that's kind of a recent development. And when it's this, sometimes you'll have 2s, like 2s at a diagonal there. If it's this, it will also be this. No, I'm wrong. Oops. I said that wrong. Because it could be the other. What I meant was, if it's this, it's got to be this. Hey. That's fine. Interesting. It just gave the same blurb that I wrote. I wrote before I turned 60. And I'll be 61 in November. So, yeah. I've written a bunch of boilerplate explanations of things. We got 3s in a row here. Can't do this or this, so they're X's. That's all I know. Can't be here or here, so those are X's. So I know it's this or this. In either case, it's going to go that way. So I go ahead and put that there. That's the kind of freakazoid I am. Here's a 3 in a corner. That's nice and evident. Let's see, we got double 1s on the side. I don't see any. Yeah. That was weird. It came up with another one quickly. I'm the MacGyver of not remembering to bring tools and materials. I thought that was rather clever. Brian and I have been friends for a long time. He knows a lot. He remembers and quotes things I've said that I completely forgot saying. Like, irony is my bitch. That was one of your favorites, I believe. I like it too. That causes me to think of something. I make t-shirts and stuff that you can buy with my artwork on it. Right now, all I have is Zazzle.com. That's 3 Z's with an A in there. Zazzle. I didn't make irony as my bitch, but I can. I haven't updated that in a long time. I've sold very few shirts. He's got one artwork and put his favorite quote on the back, which was, deuces are wild and diamonds are wild and deuces of diamonds are real wild. because he liked that. He customized it to have that on the back. So you can do that at Zazzle.com/thoughtstorms. Basically, just about anywhere on the web, Thoughtstorms is me. There is a guy on YouTube who squatted on the name with a capital T, and maybe I don't know. So if you see a capital T Thoughtstorms, it's probably not me, but there's only that one place. And I lost my Instagram because they thought I was stealing someone's artwork. I was stealing my artwork. Yeah. Kind of almost flattering that they thought my artwork was good enough that somebody would steal it. But I wasn't big on that platform, so I didn't check it for a long time. Oh, here's a one with X's in this corner. It's either going to be this or it's going to be this. In either case, it's going to be this or this. It can't be here or here. So these are X's. These two X's tell me these two X's. Honestly, this is probably really dull. Now, I have watched people play Scrabble on live stream. I have watched people play chess. I started to think maybe I could play Scrabble on stream, but I play so slowly that I don't think that's a good idea. There's some ones I know about. There's some things about. And I'm not explaining how I know, but I'm happy to answer questions if need be or not. I wish this had been around when I was still working at my old high school. We did teach some of the more advanced special needs students to play chess. And one guy, I stalemated in the first game, and he beat me 6 times, and I quit playing him. He was pretty great. He wrote his class paper about what he wanted to be when he grew up, and he wanted to be a pimp and a drug dealer. So we said, okay, how are you gonna deal with prison, jail, hiding from cops? You know, we treated it serious. I'm all over the map here, just talking about everything I know. I can't put a line there because that's a dead end, so it's an X. So it's an evident 2, which tells me a bunch of stuff there. Yeehaw. Sometimes I explain this. And I would be probably narrating this even if I weren't streaming and nobody was here. Brian, I hope you're feeling good. Better than usual. You're welcome to share on chat whatever you care to. I'm trying not to out anything that you may, not want flapping in the World Wide Web breeze. I think we can say you've had some health challenges in recent years. La la. So Brian, were you here when I was showing the art stuff I was doing? I might not have been. I'm going to take a moment and just show, because other people may have dropped in. Keycaps that I fixed together, kind of grabbing the back with 2-part epoxy sculpt by a company called Little Tongue. I shouldn't make fun of it. It's probably a cool story behind it. So as I make little clusters, in order for the tops to follow a spherical shape, I press them while they're still it's still kind of loose. I press them into this copper bowl. I bought this copper bowl back when I made that wooden sword that you know about, that sculpture I made. I bought two of those and had that all that time. So yeah, I've seen that. Watch my Discord. Oh, I see you're logged into Discord. I'm pretty sure I'm just thoughtstorms on Discord. I guess that computer's awake, so I'm logged in. I need to have a Nightbot that gives the Discord. Note to self. You know what? I'm gonna write that note down because I don't remember notes. Nightbot Discord link. I'm not very familiar with Discord and I don't go there very often, but you are welcome to, anyone who comes to this channel is welcome to show up on Discord. Don't expect much. It's overstimulating to me. I think I've got a comment for that. See if I remember the see if that fills it in. Not looking like it is, but it might be taking a moment. Okay, it's either that or it's that. In either case, that happens. That can't be a line. That's got to be. Brian, do you watch For All Mankind? I just went back to catching back up. I think it may be done forever, or it may, I don't know, it may just be finishing a season. I like it a lot. I noticed something I hadn't really noticed before. It is, I kind of hate to say this, it is a soap opera. I mean, it's very dramatic things that happen, but it's a soap opera. But it has to be. I don't say that like it's a bad thing. Hey, I have occasionally been paid to act, and I've always said I'd act on a soap opera in a heartbeat. They wouldn't have to ask me twice. I wouldn't watch it, but I would act in it. And also, Brian, behind my head there, I don't know if you've seen that or not, the Holy City Zoo sign. Yeah, soaps in space. One of the TV shows that I had a speaking part on, one episode that happened on two different shows, cable shows. I played the announcer that introduced young Robin Williams in his rainbow suspenders era, and behind me was that sign. And when we finished, we wrapped the set and all those shots. They were about to throw that in the dumpster, and I was like, can I have that? Can I take that home? And they got permission, and the rest is history. It can't be this. Oh, I'm not on the game anymore. I already had this much, and I know it can't be this because that would make a big loop. So, I've got undo. So it's got to be this. Got to be. Anyway, I'm not gonna finish this on stream. I just was showing things around, and you besmirched the honor of it by calling it baby. You didn't besmirch nothing. I'm kidding. I like Minesweeper. Not regular Minesweeper, and I can't find the advanced ones anymore. All right, got a little into hyperfocus. Another topic that will come up in my streams a lot is neurodiversity. Oh boy! Because, man, I said it like a joke, but it's true. Before they made me, they broke the mold. I get to enjoy dealing with I don't think it's neurodiversity, but I do have cottonmouth from all my medicines. That's why I hydrate there. So yeah, I get to mess with attention deficit disorder. Not really hyperactive, but you know, they kind of quit making the distinction. I'm on the autism spectrum, and you know, classical depression, and I've really done pretty well in recent years with anxiety and panic. Most people I know who have those things have it worse than I do, and I'm kind of sorry that's the case because it sucks. But anyway, I mentioned that because I fell into this game, which I need to take off the screen because it is distracting me. And I deliberately left the tea out. Okay. Unfortunately, this screen I can't have large text, so I gotta pull the glasses on. That's not very useful. Mid one. No. Still testing stuff out. It's going to be boring, but another thing is I'm working on becoming a recovering perfectionist. And so putting out a mediocre stream is kind of what the doctor ordered. Server commands other than /me are blocked. That's weird. I'm gonna have to look into that. Huh. Well, I'm gonna have to fix that. That's terrible. Anyway, I'm not planning to stay on a whole bunch longer. I've been going for an hour and 18 minutes. I didn't mix up any clay or work on this stuff. I'm going to do a lot of that offline. I found some poetry that I was going to read, even though it's very old. I haven't written a poem in a very long time. I've written a few poems that I consider worthy. My inactive email address was paradox@poetic.com. I'm leaning out of my pentagonal front. I'm also getting covered by chat a lot. See if I can fix that. Little bit. Yeah, doesn't matter. It's not like I'm purty. Yep, I completely forgot what I was talking about. That's going to happen a lot. But these early days, I am finding my feet technologically and stuff. I've got other cameras, other microphones if I need them. But just getting the bare minimum to work has been quite a challenge. I see. Narrow diversity. That's what I was talking about. That's true. Thank you. Ooh, awesome. See? Okay. This is one of the things that makes me a little hopeful about streaming. I write filthy language song parodies, especially when I'm driving and people piss me off. And this is 18 or plus, so I'll go ahead and perform one of them for you. Motherfucker, you're the one on whom I want violence done. Motherfucker, I wish there were none of you. And I've got another verse. But one day, I was farting around and I just sang all the way kind of through the bridge to the end, and it was great. And I thought, oh, cool, I'll remember that. I didn't remember it, but if it happens on stream, there's video on demand. And my thousands of fans or paid mods, if I can ever make that happen. That's another thing. I have set up a Patreon. It is a giggle. I did it. I think you can do $2 a month or $5 or 10, 20, 50, 100, and I think I did like a 2,000 or something like that. I don't expect it to happen, but it only has to work once. And guys, call me Bernie Madoff. I'm not promising you jack. I'm promising you infinite gratitude is all I can promise. I am trying to make some things that I can send to people if they do join the Patreon. Basically, I mentioned that I'm on disability, which is what I call guaranteed negative income. It doesn't come close to even covering my rent. And so I've got family members and friends that are pitching in way too often, way too much. And so if you're out there and you got some scratch laying around and I made you laugh or taught you a thing or you liked an artwork, people have been liking my artwork on Facebook for decades now. And I love that. And I like sharing it. But it has netted me about $0.00. I guess a few people might have gone to the Zazzle.com/thoughtstorms. I gotta work on that. I'm also I'm gonna get one for myself. I've found a place where I can put my artwork on the entire shirt, like scrubs or something, like just the entire thing, including a collared shirt with buttons. I plan to get one and wear it on the stream and encourage people to get theirs. And it's print on demand kind of thing. I've still got a lot to learn about it. This place has the problem that if you are larger than a 3XL, which basically I still am, I can wear a 2X if it's 2X tall. Anyway, I don't even remember the name of that deal, but that's something coming in the future. And by all means, if you do think of joining Patreon, man, huge discounts. Basically, you can get the merch. Depending on the level you Patreon in, you can get the merch at my cost. I won't make a further penny off of y'all. And I hope the merch is going to be good. I am hopeful. I have an idea for some little tchotchkes to make that I might give away as thank you gifts. But that's not the idea. If you look at artists, okay, this is going to sound like I'm comparing myself to Van Gogh. Vincent Van Gogh, however you choose to pronounce his last name, Van Gogh, didn't sell anything. His brother, in his lifetime, his brother kind of helped keep him afloat, and there were a few people that were patrons that helped him, get from day to day. And Patreon is still a great idea. There's a little controversy. It's gotten a little bit complicated because it's gotten huge, and the internet has gotten weird, and YouTube has gotten weird, algorithms, you name it. But I still think it's a very, very good thing. Please don't give me a penny you can't afford to throw on the ground and walk away from. Please. I don't want anybody's money that they can't afford to set fire to. If you've got $2,000 bills that you feel like setting fire to, consider throwing them my way instead. I will take help. And the only way I've never done a GoFundMe, even though I should have, because, like I said, I've got family members and friends who just cannot stand to see me go homeless. So, if I do anything that tickles you, do all the things. Please like the video. Well, if you watch it later as a video on demand, put a thumbs up on it. Please do subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. That costs you nothing. I don't have it set up for a membership, which would cost you something. I probably will set that up. I'm in the process of setting up a coffee so you can just kind of give a one-time thing. All of these things, I feel okay asking for help with them because I'm asking for help for the people who can't stop themselves from helping me. I just quoted a little essay that I put on Facebook about this. I am not deserving of anybody's help or pity or anything. I'm going to try not to run myself down all the time. At the same time, I ain't nobody special. If you hang around me, you might come to realize that I don't capitalize the first person singular unless it's at the beginning of a sentence, because I am neither deity nor royalty. And that's the only time we capitalize pronouns. He said the P word. Yep. I identify as lowercase I, except at the beginning of a sentence. And that's not because I'm a terrible person. I'm not. I'm pretty good in a lot of ways. But I've made some really bad decisions over the years that have escalated and snowballed, and Lord, how many Pentagons can we get on the screen at this moment? But like I say, there are some wonderful people who my situation has them boxed in. They can't help but help. So if you have the ability to help, if Bitcoin or any other thing has blessed you with large chunks of currency and you really don't mind helping some great people out, I would be incredibly grateful. They would too. I'm keeping them anonymous. I promise I'm not just saying give it to me. Although, like I said, don't give me a dime that you can't melt down and throw down a sewer. If you need the money, do not send it to me. I have given money in times when I didn't have it to give, and I don't want that happening here. Patreon is generally, it's a monthly thing. You can turn it off anytime you want. I don't know if I'm going to make any Patreon only content, like videos and stuff. I don't think I will. I don't know. I'm not planning on being a video creator per se. I say that, but I may actually do some reaction videos. I'm going to react to some music, like music videos and animated films and things, and poetry. Fascinated by poetry. A week ago or so, a good friend dropped by named Caleb. Ryan, I don't think you've met this Caleb. Caleb Jackson. I just saw Octagon. And an octagon, really? I try to avoid octagons. That's basically an octagon there. And those, I don't have nearly enough of my deals in there because I can't get my phone to dump my artwork to the computer. I can do it with my old computers, but I also can't get my computers networked to each other. I know it sounds terrible. I've got multiple computers, but if I hawked them, I would have $20, maybe. I doubt it. There's enough of a lag. I don't know what your nope was referring to. I know who. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Anyway, he did drop by briefly, and he is a poet. He's done poetry slam type stuff, and I've seen a video of it, and man, he is good. He is excellent. He's a fascinating guy, and I hope he comes around. And he actually doesn't live very far from me. He lives closer to me than you do. So I may actually have him over to my apartment to talk poetry and or other things. I have had some of my best recent conversations. I haven't had very many with him, but every conversation I've had with him has been a real good one. Anyway, poetry. Yeah, so I actually might. I fiddle farted around and tried making a reaction video to a music video that I had already seen, and one that a lot of people react to. I was basically testing the waters. I watched it, and no, it was a good test run. But I may actually do that. I may pick some of my favorite songs. I got to be careful, of course, so you don't get copyright strikes. There's ways around it, but anyway. So I may actually make videos. I do make videos, which are basically kind of as snazzy a slideshow as I can of my artwork, kind of like what's on the screen now. Not as incredibly repetitive. That's getting on my own nerves, how same that is. But I think it's about time I started wrapping up. Oh, I wish I knew how to. What's it called? raid. On Twitch, you can raid a streamer. I don't know if you're still with me, Brian. You may have fallen asleep. I wouldn't blame you a bit. The only reason I'm not falling asleep is because I'm talking. I probably I've probably fallen asleep while I was talking to myself. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Anyway, I do want to figure out how to raid people. It's a good way to let them know, yeah, I am a streamer, and hey, I want to share the love. Of course, it helps if you have more than yourself. I have seen people raid with just themselves. I missed the last minute because of a phone call. No problem. I'm winding down. Brian, I plan to go again tomorrow at 2. So that's Sunday the 7th, 2 p.m. Texas Standard Time. No matter where you are, it's Texas Standard Time. It's a really good radio show on public radio here in Texas. Hey. I like that Nightbot comment. I'm rather proud of that one. I've got a lot of those kind of things. You'll be at medieval times? Spam jelly! Brian, you know my brother, Peter. Y'all spent an evening in each other's company. I think just one. That's who Spam Jelly is. Oops. I told on him. He's over there on Twitch. Hey, Peter, could you type in !EGG and enter into text, into chat? My Nightbot is kind of off. I'm kind of winding down for this particular go. Peter, I think you may have seen the beginnings of this project. This is the biggest chunk. I've got lots and lots of smaller chunks that I will put together, make kind of a globe out of, and then I am covering this face mask with these little snaky things, and until they get painted, there's an off-color joke or 17 to be had. Okay, thank you for trying. I don't know if you put a space. It needs to be ! EGG without a space. But I don't suspect it's going to work. I asked Brian to do it from YouTube, but it didn't work. I'm learning tons of stuff. I've forgotten way more than I ever knew about technology. I know somebody that put together a song about that. Yeah, I gotta work on the Nightbot. It is not what it ought to was. Ooh, look, heater. I have a pentagonal dodecahedron in my autistic fascination. So, Brian, you'll be at medieval times. What are you doing at medieval times? And when? I don't think I've ever been to medieval times. I've been in the building. I wanted to get an audition to work there 20 years ago or more. There was nobody in there. Finally saw the guy dressed up as a friar, and he was like signaling me with his eyes, "You don't want to work here." Anyway, birthday, I know that's Monday. Oh, wait. never mind. I was wrong about that, and don't tell me what's right because I have it in my calendar and I didn't. I'm trying not to dox anybody. I don't think birthday's super sensitive, but I need to learn to watch myself. That's cool though. Awesome. Yeah, like I said, I don't think I've ever seen a show there. I've been inside the exhibit that's there, but I don't remember if I saw a show or not. And I think I should remember. I think having watched Cable Guy is why I sort of thought that. Spam Joey said something. I got to put my glasses back on. I bought a projector on Amazon, and it's got power focus, or you can focus it manually. It won't turn. I call them. They say, "Okay, well, send it back." Or no, they didn't say send it back. Okay, we'll give you a refund. I was like, well, I mean, it just needs to be turned. Yeah, that's fine. Just we'll send you a refund. Well, I already have it. I've waited a long time. I don't have a working projector. Keep the projector that won't focus, and we'll send you another one, which they did. So I have two now. And the only problem with one of them is to focus it, you've got to basically put it on a dolly kind of thing to see what distance it needs to be at. And it's pretty good quality. The other problem is it's real hard to get the remote control to talk to it. But anyway, I want to set that up to where I can see my chat huge on the wall so I don't have to put glasses on to read chat. Many plans. Let him burrow. Your medieval Baki nest. I think you meant hockey. Yeah, B's by the H. Yeah, Brian, if you want. I don't know if that would be considered medieval. Yes, okay. All right. I hadn't made the joke. Now someone in chat has. I'm not getting you in trouble. I know. When I paint it, I'm hopeful it won't be so so spermy. It has a lot of spunk. Well, kids, I kind of hate to call it a day when I've got a record 2 people chatting. Well, we're tied a record. Peter, were you here when Crystal was still chatting? I think you were. Maybe for Japan. In Japan, the hand can be used like a wife. I watched Godzilla -1 again today. It's good. It's really good. The reactor I like reacted to it on Friday, and so I was watching her reaction, and I've already said to her, it's like, this is the only Godzilla she's seen. And I'm like, you've got a real distorted idea of what Godzilla movies are now. Because all of the other ones, one of these things is not like the other. So, oh, you weren't here when Crystal was. So I've seen Crystal, and I've seen a brother, a sister, a brother from another mother. Am I forgetting somebody? That would be terrible. Still, it's a pretty active chat for me. Well, I'll get some things worked out. I'm gonna move my cameras around and. Good Lord. Oh, well, some of that's not charging cables. Yeah, you can see my laptop and all of the cables back there. I hate tech spaghetti. I'm hungry for spaghetti. But not SpaghettiOs. They are on my crap list. Can't has them. Well, kids, I'll get better at this. I was going to read some poetry, but I got to find it again. I found it and then lost it again. And then I want to show some more artwork, not just the same one that's been cycling on the screen. But we're at an hour and 3/4, and I haven't really done much of anything. I played the Minesweeper kind of games. Peter, did you see any of the Minesweeper type games, the puzzle games? Oops. Like that? You didn't. Well, it's not fascinating, but it occurred to me that what most people do on stream is they stream games. And this is about the only kind of game I play. I play 8-ball on my phone. I don't think anybody want to watch me play that. I'm good. I'm pretty damn good at it, but I don't think it's even as riveting as this. But the idea of this is this 3 has 3 lines and 1 X by it. This one has 3 X's and 1 line. And then they've all got to hook up together into one continuous SpaghettiO. Gotta go. All right, Brian, great to see you. Have fun at medieval times on whatever so much day your birth might be, and I do know which one it is. It's in my calendar, so you don't have to tell me. I promise. So have a good time. Talk to you soon. And now I'm gonna probably crimp this guy off. Yep, gotta go too. Me too. Let's all 3 of us go. Thanks for coming around. Ladies and gentlemen, take my advice. Pull down your pants and slide on the ice. It's Groucho Marx. It's not mine. Irony is my bitch. That's mine. We salute you. Goodbye.